Hi, this is Jamey, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite game mechanism in Sentient, one of my favorite games that I played and mispronounced at Geekway 2019. This is a very abstract game, and I really wasn't sure what I would think about it, but a lot of people recommended it to me. I think many of you on this channel did. So I gave it a try, and I really, really enjoyed it. The beautiful components, beautiful art, really, really beautiful custom dice. And basically in the game, you go through 3 rounds, and every round you are going to end up placing 4 cards in your tableau, and you are trying to get those cards and the dice that are next to them. So, see these dice right there and right there. You're trying to get the dice and the cards to sync up and score as many points as possible. The dice are rolled and placed randomly at the beginning of the round, but they're manipulated throughout the round based on these cards. So for example, you have this card right here. Whenever I place this card in that slot, I have to increase the die here by +1 because of that plus sign, and then this die over here, because of that equal sign, it stays the same. And then at the end of the round, what's the requirement on this one? So this card in particular is looking for both of the dice on either side of it, the sum of them to be even. So 4 plus 6 is 10, an even number, and so I accomplish that goal and I get 3 points. And that's the game. You do that 3 times. There's also a bit of an area control mechanism over here that I won't go into, except for my favorite mechanism in the game. It's very specific to this game. I don't know if this video will be all this helpful to designers looking for things in other games. But basically, when you place this card, you have these little helpers. You can see one right here. And when you place the card, instead of manipulating the dice, if you don't want to, you can use one of your little helpers to put it on top of that icon and just ignore it. And this becomes a really, really crucial decision in the game. I absolutely love the inclusion of this decision and that these tokens serve that purpose, in addition to serving a purpose with the area control. Again, I won't go into the area control, but that's the other purpose for these. You can save these guys and use them for area control, or you can use them to avoid having to manipulate the dice. And I really like, this is just such a tight game with the dice manipulation, because I might place this card, and when I place this card, these dice work perfectly for me. I have an even sum. But when I place this card, I might have to manipulate one of those dice, which might take me away from that. And then I might place this card and manipulate it again. And maybe when I place that card, it moves me back into the sum being even. But sometimes when I place this card, it might not work for me, and I might really still want this card. So I love that I have the option of placing these workers to prevent the dice manipulation from happening. It's kind of, I guess, basically breaking the rules of the game. It's saying, okay, this standard rule of the game, you get to avoid it by sacrificing one of your assistants. Instead of using it for area control, you get to use it not to manipulate the die. I don't know if there are parallels to other games here. I think the key is that the game is basically giving you the rules for the game and then saying, here's a thing that you can use to break those rules with a sacrifice, with a cost to it. And I really like that. I really, really like that element in Sentient, especially given how tight the game is. It's a very tight game, given that you're only playing 4 cards per round, and most of those cards impact, all the cards impact the dice, and those dice impact the cards that are next to it. So it's really, really tight in that way. That's my favorite mechanism in Sentient. If this is helpful at all, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments on what your favorite element of Sentient is, or if this makes you think of another mechanism in another game. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Take care.